everyone, Mopar.84 here with the Sinister 6, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be going over the Diablo Sport tune and what it did to the car. And in short, it basically just changed the entire dynamic of how the car drives. It doesn't feel like the same car when I look back at when I first bought the car versus now. And a lot of that I think is to do with the performance transmission tune. And what I mean is it holds onto the gears a little longer, keeps the RPMs up a little higher, which in town, if you do a lot of city driving, is going to cost you probably some mileage. But with me, with mixed driving, and I do very little city driving, I didn't notice any negative effect on the mileage, so that's a plus. But it keeps it more performance orientated, and that's basically what I mean. When I first bought the car, it seemed like a bridge between a sports car and an economy car. It seemed like you really had to, the power was there, but you had to really put your foot in it for the car to realize you wanted to go. And now it's really quick to respond. It'll drop gears really quick. It takes very little throttle, and she just goes. And because of that, I haven't really got on the car really that much. I don't really need to. With very light throttle, she just goes. Let's like say you're cruising like 70 on the highway and you want to pass. It takes very little pressure to get it to drop down a gear. In town, you hear the exhaust a lot more, or in the city, and that's it holding onto the gears a little longer, and it's even more aggressive on the downshift. If you come down on the brakes hard, she'll ramp up to like 2,000 RPMs, and you'll hear the exhaust a little bit. All that is just awesome. It makes the car feel like a sports car all the time. That being said, if you're really light on the throttle and you do a lot of like state routes, 55-mile-an-hour roads like I run, you can still get great gas mileage. For instance, when I took the car out the first day after the tune, driving to work, it's a 45-mile drive. For me, most of that is 55, 60 mile an hour. I averaged 32.9. So if anything, I think I actually improved on the fuel mileage, which I didn't expect. I expected it to go down a little bit, if anything. So that's a huge plus, because as I just said, 45 miles to work, 45 miles back, 90 miles a day. Gas price is high. That's why fuel mileage matters to me. I still put about 85 bucks a week in the tank, and that's about 450 to 500 miles though of driving. If I just drive it to work, that's about 450 miles a week. If I drive it at all on the weekend, that's be closer to 500 miles, and it'll do that on one tank. So it's getting over 30 mpg average. Like right now it's showing 30.1. But I was getting into a little bit here and there. Normally I will average that or a little better, even before the tune and after the tune. I haven't really seen no negative drop on the mileage from the tune. Like I said though, if you drove with the transmission tune, the performance tune, if you drove it in the city a lot, I could see your mileage is going to drop. You're not going to get very good mileage, probably, because you're still going to get good mileage because it's V6 versus like a V8, but with this tune, it's going to keep your RPMs a lot higher than not a lot higher, but higher than they would normally be. Like say it normally would shift out from one gear to the next, that at that speed, at your normal speed that you'd be driving at 2,500 RPMs, maybe it'll hold on to it to about 3,000 RPMs. It'll hold on the gears a little bit longer. Keeping your RPMs up is keeping you in the power, and that's what it's basically trying to do. And of course, I'm going to do a 0 to 60 run. I haven't done one of those yet by myself. I was waiting for the video, so we'll do a 0 to 60 pull here in just a minute, and see what it does. On my current 0 to 60, I've mentioned in previous videos, is 5.6, which is actually pretty good, I would say. But I got a lot of mods, little bolt-on mods, and this tune seems to be working really well with those, and I expect a little quicker 0 to 60. the way it feels a lot stronger, but I don't know if a lot of that is because of the aggressive tune in the transmission or if it really gained a lot more power. The exhaust sounds a little deeper to me, and it definitely feels like it has more power. But we'll see what it does on the 0 to 60. I did turn traction control off, so I don't want that to be braking, but I don't want to spin a lot either. But we'll see what happens, you know. And then if it spins too much, maybe I'll do a pull with it on. I know it does like to spin even before the tune, and I haven't really got on the car real hard since the tune. Like I said, I haven't really had to. Literally this much throttle is all I need to go 70, 80 miles an hour on the highway, and to take off like this much throttle. That's it. It's all you need. It's made it. It was already quite responsive before, as far as like there wasn't really no delay in the throttle with the mods that I had. I had the cold air intake, I think, in the biggest one, I think, the throttle body helped that throttle response a lot. To where as soon as you hit it, you had power. It was coming on. It's just more power coming on now with that same amount of throttle. That's the feel, anyways. We'll see what the 0 to 60 says. Almost to where I need to be to do that 0 to 60 pull. And then because I have such a long commute, I'm headed home now. I'll have to cut the video for a little bit, and then I'll resume when I'm ready to do some more pulls. I really like it. I didn't know if I would like the transmission tune or not, because it's doing what I expected, but it's not as bad as I might have thought it could have been. I expected to hold on to the gears longer, like it does. I expect it to be more quicker to downshift, like it does. But it feels great. I like it. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave the performance transmission tune in there. I have the 93 octane Diablo tune for the most power. So I'm going to leave those like that, because I can still get best of both worlds, because for real light on the throttle, I can still keep the mileage good. Like I said, first trip out in the car, 45 miles to work, it averaged 32.9 on the average. So that means I'm getting 35 or better on those 55, 60 mile an hour roads, the highway, for me to average that good, you know. So I'll try to get positioned here for 0 to 60. Reset my 0 to where I can see. I don't really need to, but I'm going to get to where I can see the 0 to 60 meter. It says ready. We're going to go. That wasn't too promising. As you heard, the tires spun, and it registered a 6 flat, and I already had a 5.6, so we'll see. We'll do some more pulls, see what I can get. I'll cut the video for now, and I'll resume in a little bit. Okay, so pull number 2. Sport mode on. Let's see if that made any difference. 5.9. You can see the 5.6 was my best. It seems like even though I have traction control off, because it's spinning a little bit, it seems like it's braking, because it seems like it goes and then it seems like it holds for a moment and then it goes again. So I think the traction control is still grabbing some, maybe. I don't know, maybe I should do a pull with it on, so that way it's not spinning in the first place. We'll try another one here in just a moment. Okay, so that third and last final pull was with traction control on, no sport mode or anything, and it still spun, and the back end went sideways a little bit on me. We'll see what the 0 to 60 says. 6.3. Not surprised, being that it actually spun worse with traction control on. The back end actually slid sideways, so yeah, I do plan to try to get to the track, to the drag strip this year. It's something I want to do. It's a lot of fun. I've done it before with my Ram, my 07 Ram I had before, and it's something I need to do so I know what she's doing in the quarter mile. Maybe a little quicker in the quarter mile than what it was previously, but I don't have a baseline to go by because I haven't taken it to the drag strip yet. So I can say that it definitely feels like the car's making more power. As I said, it just spun a lot on that last one, even with traction control on, and the back end slid to the side, just pulling out in a straight line. So I mean, it definitely feels like it has more power, but it isn't really translating in the 0 to 60 very well there. There it shows the last one was a 6.3, and my best was a 5.6 before the tune. But like I say, it is spinning a lot, so it may be spinning worse than it did spin a little bit before, so I may be spinning a little bit worse, and that's what's causing me to have a little bit less of a 0 to 60. But it's probably then gaining some in the top end and the quarter. But I don't have a baseline for that yet. So that's all I got for this video. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And sorry, the video cut off a little quick on me. I was saying that plan on getting to the track this year, to the drag strip, and we'll see what it does in the quarter mile. That's a lot of fun. I did it with my Ram before, my 07 Ram. So bye for now. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Mopar Dad 84 out. Thanks for watching.